issued this week, although Shell has not yet lifted the force majeure. Well, some company news now. Stanbic IBTC Holdings PLC has posted its first quarter results for this year. The company has reported a pre-tax profit of 8.89 billion naira. That's up 47%. In a filing to the Nigerian Stock Exchange, Stanbic IBTC, the local unit of South Africa's Standard Bank, says its gross earnings rose to 30.22 billion naira in the 3 months ended March 31st from 26.58 billion naira in the same period last year. However, its profit after tax rose by 93% at 6.8 billion naira from 3.5 billion naira in the comparable period of last year. Meanwhile, it was not all rosy for Fidelity Bank as its results for the first quarter are in the red. The bank reported a 20.2% loss in profit after tax to make 3.7 billion naira in the period when compared to what it made in the comparable period of 2013. It made gross earnings of 30.9 billion naira, down from 31.4 billion naira in 2013. The company's profit before tax was also down at 4.4 billion naira. Meanwhile, the U.S. ambassador to Nigeria, Mr. James Entwistle, has commended the market recovery put in place by the management of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. He gave this commendation when he paid a courtesy visit to the local bourse in Lagos. During the ringing of the closing bell, he explained that the American government will continue to partner with Nigeria on policies that help sustain economic growth and improve the existing trade relations between both countries.
Now, the stock exchange, in our view, is facilitating the rise of the Nigerian economy. The remarkable growth in recent years of listed corporations like the Dangote Group, Transcorp, and Honeywell, as well as newly listed indigenous oil companies like Seplat, is very instructive. These firms are driving Nigeria's economy forward. Their development is good for both the United States and Nigeria because it creates opportunities for trade and investment that creates wealth and promotes job creation in both of our countries. Now, I understand that government of Nigeria officials and regulatory authorities are considering a requirement that newly privatized Nigerian companies list on the stock exchange. I'm also aware of legislation in the National Assembly that would transform NNPC into a national oil company that could list up to 1/3 of its equity on the stock exchange. So let me applaud the success of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. We will continue to partner with the Nigerian government to promote policies that lead to broad-based, sustainable economic growth and an improved trading relationship between our two countries.
U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria, Ambassador James Entwistle. Finally, on business news, the federal government plans to auction 150.61 billion naira in treasury bills with maturities ranging between 3 months and 1 year on Wednesday next week. The central bank will issue 34.88 billion naira in 91-day bills, 30 billion naira in 182-day paper, and 85.73 billion naira in the 364-day debt note using the Dutch auction system. According to the Apex Bank, the results of the auction are expected to be released the following day.
Onto the foreign scene, senior officials from the US, Russia, the EU and Ukraine are meeting in Geneva to try to douse the rising tensions in Ukraine. The meeting comes as 3 pro-Russian separatists were shot dead in a clash with Ukrainian forces in Mariupol.
The West accuses Russia of aiding the pro-Russian activists occupying buildings. There's a deep divide between the US and Russia over the issue.
In South Asia, rescuers are still searching for nearly 300 people who went missing after a ferry carrying more than 470 people sank off South Korea. 179 people, most of them students from the same high school, have already been taken to safety. During an overnight search, strong currents hampered divers' efforts to enter the ship, where it's thought many were trapped. At least 9 people are confirmed to have died, with dozens more injured.
And in sports news, the Flying Eagles continued their impressive build-up for next month's African Youth Championship qualifier with an 11-0 thrashing of FC 20 in Abuja. The coach of the team, Manu Garba, said the test game will enhance team confidence as they hope to get tougher opposition in the coming days.
The Nigerian under-20s will tackle nationwide side Dabo Babes of Kano on Saturday morning at the FIFA Goal Project in Abuja in another test game. Kelechi Iheanacho scored a brace in a game that produced 9 different scorers. In club soccer, Real Madrid players joined fans in the Cibeles fountain to celebrate their Kings Cup 2-1 victory over Barcelona on Wednesday night. Arriving on an open-top bus painted in Real's white, the players shared the Kings Cup with thousands of cheering fans. It was Real's 19th victory in Spain's domestic cup competition, 7 fewer than record winners Barca, and their second in 4 years after they beat the Catalan club 1-0 in the 2011 showpiece. It was also the first trophy for their Italian coach Carlo Ancelotti in his debut season, and his side still have a chance of becoming only the second team after Barca in 2009 to win a treble of La Liga, Champions League and Kings Cup titles. In England, Chelsea are close to clinching the 42.5 million euros signing of Atletico Madrid striker Diego Costa. Representatives of the Londoners have held a series of meetings with Costa's camp, and further talks are planned for later in the month. Chelsea are reportedly willing to pay 42.5 million euros for the striker, although a significant portion of the transfer fees includes agents' fees. Costa, who is believed to earn around 61,000 euros a week, is likely to have his wages tripled. In golf, Jordan Spieth has returned to the PGA Tour after missing out on a chance to become the youngest Masters champion in history. The 20-year-old showed he could yet be a champion for the ages, however, with a stunning debut at Augusta National, finishing in a tie for second behind Bubba Watson. Spieth says his Masters debut made him hungry to play more golf as he prepares to do just that at the RBC Heritage this week.
You know, it was a dream come true week for me, and what it did was, going in, yes, I would have been pleased with runner-up at the Masters the first time there, knowing how tough that golf course is to play the first time you play it. But given the fact that I was leading a golf tournament and not thinking about where I was or what it could mean at the end, which I didn't, it definitely left me stinging, and it definitely left me hungry and ready to play golf again, which I get to tomorrow, and ready to eventually get back there again. To kind of redeem myself and to get rid of that will eventually have to be at Augusta, and so very excited, but at the same time a little bit bittersweet to come that close, and I truly believe that I'll be back.
Well, from the golf course to the race course now, former Formula One champion and Ferrari driver Fernando Alonso has called for patience as new team principal Marco Mattiacci drops straight into this weekend's Chinese Grand Prix. Mattiacci replaces Stefano Domenicali, who left his post last week after a poor start to the season, and Alonso believes the new man will need time to get in the full flow of things. Meanwhile, Red Bull driver Daniel Ricciardo says he has put behind him the disappointment of losing his Australian Grand Prix disqualification appeal and is ready to kick on with the season. And that's it on sports news.
That's it as well on News Track. Thanks for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani.
And I'm Charles Eruka.